안녕하세요 from Korea. Today we're cooking Songpyeon. I've lived in Korea over 16 years now and I've never actually made Songpyeon. So today I'm gonna film myself making it for the first time. You guys can watch, see what mistakes I make and see what we can learn along the way together. Songpyeon is a very traditional Korean dessert made with rice cake, and we fill it with toasted sesame, salt, and a little bit of honey and sugar. And then we steam that and you get a very delicious, very traditional Korean-based dessert. It is often eaten around the Chuseok time. So a lot of kids get together with their families and it's a great activity for families to do together, making Songpyeon. And guess what? It's almost Chuseok here at the moment. So that's why I'm cooking it. So here we go. I'm gonna make it for the first time. You guys watch, see how it goes. Let's begin. If you see the rice, then you know I'm cooking this from scratch. So I'm actually gonna make the 쌀가루, the rice cake flour that we're gonna use. Soak your rice for 8 hours, and I've already made a mistake here. I'm about to grind up the wet rice. Don't do that. It made it so much harder to grind. I suggest trying the rice first and then grinding it up. It took a long time and I almost broke the blender. Don't tell my wife that, okay? You see those big chunks? They're not supposed to be there. The blender overheated and it essentially cooked parts of the rice cake. That's not a good thing. You really don't want that. So don't do what I did. Luckily, I still got most of it all ground up, so it worked out okay, but if I had to do it again, I would dry that rice first. Or just buy a packet. You can get it in a packet at a store. For our filling, you can really put whatever you want in there. We got honey, sugar, you can use white sugar, it doesn't matter. Throw in some cinnamon, I might do that next time. And even like how you do it is up to you. Now making the dough, once you've got your proper flour, start with just a little bit of boiling water. And just start with a little bit and see how it goes. So already I've noticed it's still too dry, so I just throw in a little bit at a time and get it going. And I've already made a mistake here and I know it. I should have probably added actually a tiny bit more water. I think my recipe came out really dry. So even though I clumped it together and I could knead it nicely, it was just too dry. It didn't feel right. I've used this dough in the past with done it at other activities, I've made Songpyeon in terms of filling it and it felt a little softer than this, whereas this felt almost like clay. So it still tasted okay, but I think it would have been much better if I just had put a little bit more water and then kneaded it for a little bit longer. And this is sort of the fun part. So get a ball and then just make your shape and make it thin but not too thin. You'll find that it'll split very easily. So fairly big. Try to make it as big as you can with sort of an even size to it so that you can fill it with as much sugar as possible. When I'm cooking these, I want as much sugar in them as I possibly can. I want them to be bursting without actually bursting. And that's my goal. So here's my pro tip. Tap it down with the back of the spoon into your hand like that and it makes it really easy to pack in as much sugar as you can. Look, it's a dessert. Get the sugar in there. It's not diet time when you're eating these things. And I have no idea how people make them look so beautiful online. I've seen those videos 100 times. I can't get them to look like that. Mine just look like mandu. So I'm going to keep practicing and hopefully I'll get a video in the future where I actually do a good job for you guys. But these ones, they're just little mandu, little dumplings. I made 6 of them with the rice flour that I was able to accumulate before the blender almost broke. Get them in the steamer for 20 minutes and traditionally use pine needles. My wife wouldn't let me go out and steal pine needles from one of the pine trees nearby. Said it might look weird, but I'll maybe the next video I'll try to find some, you know what I mean? And then I heard you cover them with sesame oil, and I don't know how much sesame oil. I just kind of dipped them in sesame oil. I think that might have been a bit much sesame oil. So we've got all sorts of mistakes, but at the end of the day, when I ate those things, they were delicious. The dough was not perfect, but I'm going to work on that. I think the next time I make these, they're going to be a lot better. So keep an eye out for another video and have a great day. Thanks for watching.